Let's have a look at Ater. Now this is one that we haven't really looked at in too much detail before, but we are here and we're going to be looking at Ater. We'll be looking at the options expiring on the 17th for this stock, as well as the recent price action. If all of that sounds good, make sure to leave a like on the video and do subscribe, as I will be sharing my thoughts and opinions at the end. But obviously it is nothing more than that. It's just my personal thoughts and opinions, and it certainly is not financial advice. But now that I have reminded you guys of that, we are going to jump into the video and look at Ater. We'll start off on these simple charts and just quickly, briefly summarize what we have been seeing over the past week or so. So ultimately, on the one-day chart, we are seeing a slow and steady climb upwards, which is good. Starting off the day at 9.30 on a price of 10.43, then falling down to 9.60. Highs of the day were up here at about the point of 11.67, and from there we fell a little bit with slow and steady climbs from that fall for the rest of the day. The past 5 days for the stock are mixed, but ultimately we are still in the green. We had a big spike up here, which was highs of the week on the Monday. These highs were well above the $18 mark, hitting as high as $18.85 at some points. So yeah, we really have been up and down throughout the past week or so, but ultimately today we are still in the green. And again, yes, the past week or so has brought us down a bit from those highs, but we could potentially be seeing a bit of a reversal going forwards into the next day or two. So again, we're covering all of the important information tonight. It is going to be a good video. We're going to start off by looking at how many people are searching for this stock by going onto Google Trends and typing in Ater stock, and we'll see obviously basically how many people are searching for the stock, and this kind of does indicate the popularity of this stock. Now over the past 3 days we have seen interest slowly going down, but it definitely is higher than it was in the past week, which is very good. Bear in mind this flat period here is the weekend. Not many people are going to be searching for this on the weekend, as people don't, generally speaking, do as much research on that period. But yeah, we are still seeing very high interest for the stock this week compared to last week, which is good. We'll zoom out now to the past month chart and have a look at how interest is going over here. And yeah, we are falling a little bit on the interest, actually quite a bit most recently, but that's just a trend that we are seeing. So yes, it's not as low as it has been at periods down here over this weekend, but we are still looking a bit low. Again, this is potentially going to be coming back up soon, but we'll just have to see what happens when it comes to trend searches. Again, this is just trend searches. It isn't necessarily the biggest deal in the world, but that is the data that we are seeing for that, if you were wondering. Now, as we always do with these short squeeze plays, what we like to look at is of course the short interest and of course the options expiring in the next week or two. Now, I have had a look at the short interest for the stock and I think it's looking pretty okay. People talk about the potential for short squeeze stocks needing high short interest and as well high interest from investors who want to go long on this stock. We'll talk about that in just a moment in more detail, but yeah, I definitely am seeing that the short interest to me is looking fairly good, but obviously I'm not a financial advisor, it's just my personal opinion. Now what I want to talk about is the options, and these options are expiring on the 17th, which is literally in 2 days, as it does say up here. We're looking at the calls to puts and what we are seeing for them so far. So we can see the volume down here, basically how many are out there, and clearly we do actually have quite a lot of calls which will be in the money, hopefully expiring this Friday. We can see we have a volume of 1,400 down here at $7.50. At $10 we have very high volume of 14.8 thousand, and if we get all the way up there to $12.50, we will have a further 18,300. Now up at $15, if we can get there again, we'll be seeing 15,000, and again you can see higher numbers from there and there on. Now oftentimes, as I have said in the past, people do like to go for these specific numbers, generally speaking round numbers like $5, $7.50, $10, $15. I think that is what we're seeing down here. We have a lot of calls at $10 and we have a lot at $12.50. These are those kind of round numbers that we do see quite often, and actually we have quite a few down here at the $7.50 mark as well. But yeah, things are really not looking too bad from this data in my opinion. And when we go over to the shorts on this side, we can see that actually the puts for the stock, I should say, are looking okay. I mean, yes, there are quite a few in the money, but the ones at 10 are currently not in the money. They are out of the money, and that is good to note because we have 15,000 of these, which would be in the money if we get below $10, but right now they are not. Now the largest volume that we have down here is at $12.50, and these are clearly 7,600 volume. So we can see, yeah, the stock is currently below that mark, but yeah, these are potentially going to be in the money by the weekend if we do remain at this price action and below this mark. So ultimately, I still believe that the call options are looking better than the put options, but that's just my personal opinion. Again, make sure to formulate your own. That's just what I personally believe based on what we are seeing. Now I want to have a look at how the stock price has actually been moving, and we'll do this on the more technical Yahoo Finance charts. We'll start off on the 1 day, move out to the 1 month, and then share my opinions. On the 1 day, we can see obviously the price action is moving upwards steadily, and this is meaning that the moving average is sat at about 11.11, and again it is still lagging ever so slightly just because of the fact that this is a lagging indicator and you would expect that. And we are seeing the MACD trend down here being quite neutral actually, so that's completely fine, and the RSI is at 55. 55 is only 5 points away from being neutral, so I think that's nothing to be worried about as well. When we move out to the past 5 days, we can see that the trend is still looking okay. We are seeing that moving average at 10.01. We are seeing the current price at 11.23. So again, we are moving up from that low, which is good to see. The MACD trend down here is also quite neutral. That's fine as well. And we are seeing the RSI down here at 59. Now 59 is 9 points towards oversold, but only 9 points away from being neutral. Overbought, sorry, but only 9 points away from being neutral. So again, not really anything to worry about in my opinion. Now we're going to move out to the 1 month and look at the figures that we are seeing here. We are seeing a RSI figure of 57, we are seeing a moving average figure of 832, and a MACD trend which is currently bullish, I do believe, but could be flipping to the bearish as we have seen 2 days in the red, and again those lines are falling now because of that. So things are not looking too bad for ATER stock. What would I anticipate next for this stock? Do I think this has a potential for a short squeeze? I think it is definitely possible. I think the data is looking completely fine. Short interest most recently has been increasing, I do believe, and there are fair reasons for that. You know, the higher the price goes, the more people want to short the stock from those highs. That kind of does make sense if you think about it, because if you really are convicted in the sense that you believe the stock is going to fall lower and lower, you would want to short from the highs to get the most money that you could from those shorts. But obviously that means that the interest is quite high, and it does put this one potentially in a very good position for a short squeeze. Now when it comes to that short squeeze, I don't necessarily look at the data and think, yes, this is a definite short squeeze. I think we need a few more things on top of that. I think ultimately we need the sustained interest from people who want to go long on the stock. And I think, you know, we do need that sustained interest from these shorts as well. Currently it's looking very good. So I'm just looking on that long interest, you know, the interest from investors, retail investors, to remain there. I think if that does happen, it could definitely be a very promising stock. Again, the data is looking good, but this time I think it doesn't necessarily all just rely on the data. The trend for the stock is looking okay. We had a decent day today, which was in the green. I would call it more of a consolidation day, even though we did move up by a nice amount. Again, this was decent consolidation. If we can see more of this tomorrow, even if we sustain a very small dip tomorrow, but remain above the $11 mark, or at least close to it, whether it's the high 10s or the low 11s, I think I would be comfortable with that. Again, it will just have to depend if the interest from the retail investors and the long investors in general does stay there. But ultimately, if we move up a bit higher, move up to 12.50 by the end of the week, as I have said, we'll have a lot more calls on the money, and that could be very huge for the stock. Tell me your opinions down below, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon. Thank you for watching through till the end, but let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you will be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes and you can see actual contributions from members down here. And again, if you do join us, it is completely free, link is down below. But if you do want to become a Patreon, you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name. So your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that, guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching. See you soon.